Nazis and Donald Trump, quote, stole Christmas to promote white nationalism. In the piece, several writers and academics warned that phrases like Merry Christmas have become a dog whistle, showing support for whites and veiled hatred of Muslims, Jews, atheists, immigrants. Doubtless, painting Easter eggs will soon be a hateful assault on vegans everywhere. Nell Daly is a psychotherapist, and she joins us. Nell, do you buy into this idea that Merry Christmas is a racist dog whistle?
Well, I want to just talk about the article from Newsweek, not necessarily what I believe. As a journalist, I did some research into this, and I read the article and I thought to myself, is there actually a war on Christmas happening? So 9 out of every 10 Americans in the United States celebrate Christmas. So I thought, okay, well, maybe there isn't a war happening. But what is happening in the Pew Center, which is a bipartisan research organization, came out with a study yesterday saying that only 46% of the people who actually celebrate Christmas view it as a religious holiday, which is down from 51% in 2013. So in a sense, there is a changing of the tides. I don't want to say a war on Christmas, but a changing of the tides, that people in American society are becoming less religious.
But none of that surely justifies this comparison of Trump and the Nazis. I mean, for a start, the Nazis basically secularized Christmas. They turned it into a kind of pagan nature worship. So if anyone's comparable to the Nazis, it's the old hippy-dippy winter solstice worshippers all dancing around worshipping Mother Earth on December 21st or whatever it is. I mean, isn't that ridiculous, just to compare the Nazis and Trump for their attitude to Christmas?
I think what the article was suggesting, and not myself, I think what the article was suggesting was that Trump is using this language to embolden...
Well, wait a minute, language like Merry Christmas.
Well, it's not just saying Merry Christmas, he's saying now the war on Christmas has ended. So the question is, was there ever a war on Christmas? And when you suggest that there was a war on Christmas, you make people feel defensive. Well, what people feel defensive when we say that there actually was a war on Christmas?
No, wasn't it that people were being made to be made defensive because they go to the shopping mall and the clerk says Happy Holidays, as if there's something kind of dirty and not quite respectable about saying Merry Christmas?
It's interesting you bring that up, because in the Pew Center research, about half of the people polled don't really care how they're addressed in stores during the holidays. They don't feel one way or the other, whether people say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. So I think, again, that the culture is changing and people are becoming much more okay with how everyone wants to express themselves in terms of the holidays.
Well, except on one side, the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is this shakedown racket, essentially. They've all got very rich on it, salting their money away in British colonial tax havens. The SPLC Hate Tracker tracks as hate phrases hashtag Christmas and hashtag Jesus is the reason for the season. How come the hate group tracker that's quoted by all the mainstream media thinks hashtag Jesus is the reason for the season is a hate phrase?
It's really interesting. I can't answer that question. I don't know why. I really don't. I mean, I think, again, that the tides are changing, and you know, the whole idea of saying that there was a war on Christmas is a backlash against a political correctness movement that started coming out during the 1990s. The premise of the political correctness movement, as far as I understand it, both from a psychotherapist point of view and from a journalist point of view, is about being inclusivity. So we want to have more room at the table for people to express themselves.
No.
It doesn't necessarily mean you take a seat away.
No, but doesn't it come because like Bush has his Happy Ramadan and all the rest of it, and suddenly it's Christmas, the big mainstream thing that has to be Happy Holidays, but Ramadan, Happy Hanukkah, and all the rest of it, Happy Eid, and all the rest of it. Thank you, Dale. We have to run. Speaking of Christmas, after